Welcome. This is the Moral Compass Podcast. I'm Mito. Thanks for listening. Music here, copyright-free music brought to you by SAVFK Music, Sav Music. Got it on YouTube from Breaking Copyright Royalty-Free Music. I can probably play music if I really wanted to, because podcast ain't that big yet. But I will be one day. So, thanks for listening. And you're at the beginning of this journey. Name of the song is Journey to the Stars. And boy, is it freaking awesome, isn't it? Well, today I am going to talk about, I'm going to bring up more Joe Rogan stuff. There's just so many good quotes from that, so many good things to pull from his show. I'm a fan. I've been a fan for many years, since probably 2014 or so. And it's a great show. And it's not like I'm going to do it every day, bring clips from his show. That's not what this show is about. But whenever I listen to something, like today I'm listening to his podcast, so I just pause it, mark down some times and kind of notes on that to talk about these things. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And that's why I do that. I'm also going to Dylan Page. Oops, dropped my phone. Dylan Page, he's a YouTuber. Does a show called News Daddy. And I got a clip from him that I'm going to play pretty quick here. Kind of right off the bat. Once I... in just a minute. But yeah, Dylan Page, he's a really good news YouTuber. I believe his stuff. That's how you can tell whether they're good or not, is if you believe them or not. Most, if not all, not all, but there are just so many people who I just do not believe, or I partially believe. And, they'll like say something that makes a lot of sense. Oh, yeah. And then all of a sudden they go off the deep end to be like, oh, no. So, but Dylan Page, his stuff seems to be from the heart, honest, researched, all that good stuff that you want in news. So that's where he comes in. And it's probably a shorter episode than my first couple, just because I'm just going to bring up a couple things, and then I'll be done. I got a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of topics, subjects I'm going to talk about, but I also want to crap out a whole bunch of episodes, so I'll make some of these a little more shorter than what I plan on, a little bit longer, and then some a little bit longer than what I plan on. It just all depends. And today, at least I think, is going to be a little bit shorter. So first off the bat, Dylan Page, talking about the Congo. Here we go.
Everyone needs to know what is happening in the Congo right now because it actually affects all of us. Okay, so here are the main characters you need to know about. Number one, you've got the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo. They are the second largest country in Africa, and you want to know something crazy? They are actually considered the richest country in the world in terms of wealth in natural resources. Not just in Africa, the entire world. They have a staggering $24 trillion worth of untapped natural resources. So why the hell do their streets look like this then? Well, let's go deeper. Second main character, you've got Rwanda. And in 1994, they experienced one of the worst genocides in modern history,
genocide,
with 800,000 people being unalived. And this is where characters 3 and 4 come in, because that genocide came when two groups in Rwanda, the Hutus and the Tutsis, went to war. Both these groups are native to Rwanda. The Tutsis are traditionally cattle herders and were the minority in the country with about 14% of the population. But despite this, they governed Rwanda at the time where Belgium was still in colonial control of the country. You see, the Belgians, they favored the Tutsis. They gave them power, education, and positions of privilege over the Hutus, despite the Hutus being the majority and making up about 85% of Rwanda's population. Now, eventually, the Hutus, they rebelled, and that led to Rwanda's independence from Belgium in 1962. But now that the roles were reversed and the Hutus were in charge, one of Africa's longest wars began, and it culminated in that genocide that I previously mentioned. Hutu extremists systematically ended the lives of between 800,000 and 1 million Tutsis, which is now globally recognized as a genocide. However, despite this, the Tutsis were still able to regain control of Rwanda, and a key detail is they still maintain that control till this day. Now, this is where character 1 comes back into the mix, the Congo, because during that 1994 genocide, many of those Hutu extremists fled into the Congo, which is also where many of them remain till this day. Now, that's a really important detail because since that genocide, the Tutsi Rwandan government has constantly invaded the Congo since then, using the justification that those Hutus who committed the genocide and then fled there, well, they are still a security threat and need to be eliminated. And now we are at the super controversial part that everyone argues about, because when Rwanda, or the rebel forces that they have backed, enter the Congo, well, they haven't just eliminated the Hutus like they said. Over the years, they've overthrown parts of the country's government, installed new presidents, and caused major political destabilization. And so many accuse Rwanda that their intentions are actually all about controlling Congo's resources. And that brings us to today and what's happening now. Because for months, one of the rebel forces, allegedly backed by Rwanda's government, M23, well, they are in the Congo right now, capturing towns and pushing deeper and deeper into the country. And why it's currently making headlines around the world is because that M23 rebel group, well, they just took control of Goma. That is the Congo's biggest city in the east, which is also the part of the country which is most rich in resources. And it's at this point where we introduce our even more controversial fifth character, the West, and many other countries outside of Africa. Because those resources, inhumanely and often illegally extracted from the Congo, well, they are bought and used by some of the brands we use every single day. Cell phones, electric cars, TVs, fridges, and I mean, the list goes on forever. Simply put, we in the West and much of the world, we would not function the same way without the resources from the Congo. And truthfully, there's a lot of interest to keep it that way. And that is where things get really insane. But this video is already too long for all of us who have brain rot. So I'm gonna make a part 2. Make sure you follow so you don't miss it. Hope that helps, and I'll...
Okay, so I'll play part 2 when that comes out, whenever. This is brand new, you know, he posted it today. But I think I can see where he's going with this, and you probably can too. If you understood any of that anyway, because there's a lot of words, a lot of names. Basically, Rwanda is trying to control the Congo to gain access to the resources. And so they've sent in this group, this militarized group called M23 in order to... Sorry about that. Clicking, that's... My mic picking up radio static from other devices like my phone. So anyway, Rwanda's government is going in and killing, murdering, committing genocide, and to control the Congo. So the Tutsis first took over from the Hutus, it sounds like, and then now the Rwandas with the M23 are trying to gain control of all these resources from the Congo, because the resource rich Congo has these insane amounts of mined uranium, cobalt, copper, gold, and diamonds is their biggest ones. And it's just, or some of their biggest ones, and it's just insane how much resources are there. So, you may not have heard of it if you're an American, but this is huge. This will affect us. If the Rwandans go in and gain control of this, who knows what's going to happen. But if these resources, which it seems like most of the world gains their technology from the minerals or from the stuff mined from these resources, it will change a lot. So, very important article by Dylan Page. And like I said, he's a YouTuber. Great. That clip was off of X, but he's a YouTuber, so when he says words like genocide or things like that, you cannot say on YouTube because you're censored. Well, that's why you can't hear it. Even though he doesn't have to censor it on X, he still does. He probably just clips it off of his YouTube video and posts it on X. So next. So corporations. I hate corporations. I think they are evil. And I shouldn't say all corporations, because you cannot bunch anything into an all type group or status. That would be like saying, all politicians are corrupt. Well, they aren't all corrupt. In fact, some politicians are actually there to help. So I don't mean, when I say all, I don't mean all corporations are evil. But I do believe the idea of the corporation is evil, because the only thing that matters to the idea of a corporation is the margin, is the profit, is how much money you can make, how much you can make that number rise that's ticking in the New York Stock Exchange or wherever it is, or if you're not on the stock market, how much profit can you make? Because a lot of these, or the ones who are evil or bad, have all the money in the world. They don't need more money, but they do it because of our competitive nature. And it just disgusts me. Some of the things I think of, like especially with prisons and how prisons are privatized now. Oh, and how people are being used for slavery, because that's all a prison is. It's legal slavery, because most people in prison should not be there. I mean, 70% of inmates are there for non-violent, what do you call it? They don't hurt anyone. It's, like drug crimes. And they're there. And they're forced to do labor, or maybe even not forced. Maybe they want to do labor because there's nothing else to do there. And they're getting paid pennies on the dollar, if that. And it's so disgusting. And now that they're privatized, these places want to keep those people inside prison and bring more people into prison, which all I can see that leading to is a whole lot of corruption. Our criminal justice system is messed up. There's a lot of good in the Constitution regarding it, But what it is today, from what our forefathers originally envisioned, are two totally different things. I mean, putting people in cages is so wrong when it's, you got some illegal drugs in your pocket that aren't hurting anyone. It is just so wrong. And it really, I don't get angry a lot, but that angers me or upsets me in a way that I usually don't get upset. And it all starts with corporations and profits. So anyway, I'm going to play this section from Joe Rogan and Woody Harrelson talking about it. And they're previously to when I hit play, they're talking about how vaccines and big pharma, were trying to get vaccines sold to children because they just wanted more profits. And if a commercial pops up, I apologize. I have not upgraded my YouTube yet.
That it just again the profiteering. Like, why are we not talking about profiteering? That should be on everyone's lips.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. That's all the woes and ills of our society. It's people emphasizing profit over humanity. That's really what it is.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's like it's this fucking disgustingly short-sighted approach because you don't live that long. To live your life just profiteering off of the expense of other people suffering is so crazy. When you got 80 years if you're lucky, you got 80 summers, 80 spins around the sun, and you're gonna fucking sell people out for some money that you're never gonna have enough of anyway. All those cocksuckers, they all want more. It never ends. They all want a bigger yacht. They all wanted this. They all wanted that. There was always something. It never ends. And somehow or another, we let them get away with it because we're profiting as well.
I was wondering about, like, billionaires.
So, there it is. A little short clip on that. I went into part of my belief and how I feel. And it, I understand if you want to make a buck, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with trying to make a buck or trying to create jobs for people. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're doing it at the expense of people, of humanity, of people's lives, big pharma selling vaccines to children who don't need it, who get these side effects growing up that they don't need to have. And it could affect their brain chemistry, or it could affect anything, and it's just wrong. I mean, it is just so wrong, and it's disgusting. And it doesn't need to happen. And I think our future is gearing away from this, although we do not know how to gear away from this kind of thinking. And because banks control everything about how American society works, it's hard to take that and flip it on its head and kind of change things. Banks have all the money, therefore they have all the power, and they make all the rules, and their rules are like, we need to make more money. And if we make more money, then we'll give you money so you can make money, so you can give us money so we can make money. It's just a disgusting cycle. And it's just, and our government is so bloated. It's so bloated. And I mean, I know that's why what's going on there right now with Doge and how Trump is trying to right a whole lot of wrongs that have happened over the years. his plate is full. That's for sure. So good for them. Good for him for creating Doge. Let's get to the Pentagon, audit them, check out what they're up to, and get the taxpayers their money back. Get this debt under control, and show the world, show these corporations and these companies that you don't need to be bloated. You don't need to just constantly raise that number. You don't have to win all the time. You just have to be able to help people. We want to be united. We're the United States. We're not, we want to be united. And if you're from another country and listen to this podcast, I know I talk mainly American, but this pertains to the world, because the United States really does. We have so much power in this world, and it is disgusting. And this, don't get me wrong, it's a great country to live. Especially especially from what I just played about the Congo. I'm glad I live here. I really am, and I feel blessed that I was born here. But we want to make the world a better place. We want to keep on unifying the people and have just this harmonious society. And that's what this podcast is about. And so that's the reason for this clip. Okay, well, now I'll play my next clip, which is, well, it's a positive note, I guess you can say. It's Woody telling the story about how he looked at a guy once, and the guy looked angry, and Woody was all upset because the guy looked angry, and then the guy smiled after Woody said hello, and to me, everything changed. It's really cool. So here we go.
I don't know, nature Psyche, or whatever you want to call it, psychology. It's like, and I noticed just the other day, there was some dude, I can't remember what the context was, but I remember he kind of came into my zone, and I thought, look at this fucking guy, man. He's such an asshole, I could just tell. You could just feel it, Right. And then I thought, Woody, why are you, what? You've got nothing that tells you that that's true,
Right.
Other than maybe you're jealous because he's more handsome than you are or something. No, but anyway, and so I go, how you doing? And he smiles, and I'm like, this guy's incredible, you just, all you need to do sometimes is just generate a smile on that other person who you think's an asshole's face, and suddenly they're a kid, It's suddenly you're in a different, you're using your kid juice to interact.
Well, that's so true. There's so I don't know how many times I've done that and how many times it's happened to me where I'm serious and I'm working, and somebody goes, "What's wrong with you?" And it's like, there's nothing wrong. It's just the look on a face. That's all it is. And the easiest solution is just to say hello. Instead of saying, "What's wrong with you?" say something positive. "Hey, how's it going?" And then 99.9% of the time you'll be like, "Oh, hey," you'll get a response of, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Unless the person's really in a crappy mood, or they are really a bad person, because those people are out there. But most people are good. Most people are happy to be here, and don't always judge a book by its cover is, I guess, the moral of the story. It's such an honor to live in the world today. We have so much good things going for us, and I don't like complaining. I like to be positive. I want to bring positive messages to this platform, to this podcast, to the world, and Um, it's hard. You know, it's a difficult thing to do. It really is because it's so easy to get upset. Um, and I guess all we can do is try promote the message, smile, and talk. Have a conversation with somebody you never knew, somebody you've never met, somebody at the bus stop or uh, at the casino next to you gambling, or wherever you go, whatever you do. Just go have a conversation with somebody random, even a coworker maybe you've never talked to before, or if you work in a big place where it's got two ends and you're in the office and or you're in the warehouse and somebody's in the office or vice versa, whatever. Go talk to one of those people. Say hi, have a break, just have a conversation with them. Meet new people and just share messages, just talk, pass it along. And don't look at your phone when you do it. Just look at them and talk. It will change. It will change your life. And and just a little background on myself. I am a very shy, quiet person. And so this advice I'm giving is not advice that I live. I want to live it. I want to speak to people. I want to have conversations. I love people. I love crowds. I love going in giant groups like a New Year's parade or something. Even though I'm a very quiet, shy person, I've always loved being in crowds, just feeling that energy of people, especially when it's a positive energy. And I really want to meet people and talk to them. I'm just not wired like that, but I will change my ways and I will become wired like that. And if you're not like that, or if you're like me, where you're quiet, shy, into yourself, into your whatever it is, uh, do something like what I just recommended. Go talk to somebody random, somebody you never knew, never known. Maybe even it's somebody you see on a regular basis, like a cashier at a gas station or something. And just strike up a conversation, get to know them real quick, and see how that changes your life. You know, you may meet a friend or somebody who might save you one day, you know, if you're stranded or helpless. Who knows? Or you might help somebody who might need the help. And even, you know, that would be even better. You know, just however, just meet new people, spread positivity in the world, and make this world a wonderful, happy, just beautiful world. It's so weird right now, this world. There's so many strange things going on in this planet. Weird stuff in the skies, weird stuff on the internet, weird stuff with AI and quantum computing. Just weird stuff everywhere. And maybe we need to get back to a little bit of normal to learn to cope with this new world we live in. All right, well, thanks for listening. And outro, same music. Journey to the Stars by Sav FK. I'll be back again real soon. This is the Moral Compass podcast. Please share, please like, please do whatever. Follow me on X, Absurd World Pod or Absurd World Order on X, and same is the Gmail address you can contact me at. Absurd ABSURD World Order, all one word. Absurd World Order at gmail.com. Thank you. What an amazing feeling a journey to the stars would be. Have a good night. Day. Thanks for listening to the Moral Compass Podcast.